to Inside the Actor Studio. I'm your host, James Lipton, here once again with good friend Clint Eastwood. Now, earlier in the program, Clint was telling us about growing up in California, his struggles with dyslexia, depression, and his early film roles working with great directors like Sergio Leone and Don Siegel. Now, Clint, I understand that you are in the midst of making a new movie, an adaptation of Shakespeare's King Lear.
Yes.
Now, you're both directing the film and you're starring as the king, is that correct?
Yes, I am going to be King Lear.
So, Clint, now the role of King Lear is a very important one. Obviously, it's the titular character of both the play and the film, and it's a very complex and emotional character. How do you feel that you're going to capture his tone?
I've portrayed many parts over the years, and I think that tone is one of the most important things when portraying a character. And when I'm going to be portraying King Lear, I hope to bring his pride and his anger and his eventual downfall and defeat to the audience, so they really feel his emotions and the shifts of his character throughout the play.
Now, Clint, what scenes do you think are going to be the most important for capturing Lee's emotions in the character, his character's tone?
There's a lot of emotion and tones throughout King Lear, but the opening scene really demonstrates his prideful nature and how he believes that he has been an incredible ruler and he deserves the respect and wants validation from his subjects. And his anger really shines through in the end of scene 2, where he storms out of his castle and into the night. And then at the end, you can see his defeat as he loses his only real daughter, Cordelia.
Now, you mentioned the opening scene of the play, and Shakespeare, as we know, uses a lot of irony and symbolism within his work. Would you say that that scene is where that device comes in most prominently?
Yes, that scene in particular shows a lot of irony, because as I am throwing out Cordelia, the only daughter that King Lear has that really loves him, I am also splitting up my kingdom and giving it to the two daughters, Goneril and Regan, who despise me and will eventually betray me.
Now, Clint, you've been known for creating iconic characters, your dirty Harrys, your man with no names. How do you feel that you're now stepping into a role that has been created already by actors? It's already an iconic role. How do you feel like you're going to give your own interpretation of this character?
Well, that's a very good question, and I'm getting on in years myself, and age is an important part in King Lear because he's become so weary by the time the play has started, and he only becomes more weary as his tragic downfall happens because of the betrayal and corruption in the kingdom.
Now, Clint, speaking of acting, you've made the decision to fill the rest of the roles in the film with unknown, young, and experienced actors. How is it going to be working with them, both as a director and as a fellow actor, to get good performances with them, especially with this difficult Shakespearean dialogue?
Well, that's a good question, James, and we have to remember that everyone starts off fairly inexperienced, and I think that working with young actors will really bring this play to life, and transporting them back into the time that King Lear took place with our authentic sets has really brought out incredible performances that I'm not sure would have been possible with veteran actors. And as an actor myself, I hope to inspire the other actors with my performance to help them with their own.
Now, Clint, I want to thank you for being on our program today. It was marvelous talking to you. You are truly one of the greatest actors of this generation, indeed, many generations. You're a legend, you're an icon, and it was my absolute pleasure to finally sit down and talk with you. Clint, you are my hero.
Well, James, you're really too kind. I know that I am a legend and was one of the greatest actors that's really ever lived, and I know that I am one of the greatest people that's really graced our earth in this fine country, America.
What?
That... Yes?
Are you okay?
I'm just talking to my good buddy James.
Now, Clint, you've made the strange and controversial decision to have all the roles in the film played by David Duchovny. What prompted this? Do you really think Duchovny has the skills to not only play every single role in the film, but also give a satisfying and realistic performance as a female?
Well, you see, James, I just love the X-Files, and David Duchovny holds up the X-Files and and I just wanted that performance in one of my movies, and I wanted him everywhere, just everywhere. And that's why I chose David Duchovny.